Atlanta, known for its vibrant culinary scene, has seen its fair share of celebrity-owned restaurants that came and went over the years. While some left a lasting impression, others quickly faded into the city's food history. Today, let's take a stroll down memory lane as we remember a few defunct celebrity-owned restaurants that once graced Atlanta's dining landscape. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. Justin's.
Out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star and don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the video, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
In 1997, after the end of the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry, Bad Boys record founder Sean Puffy Combs, who we all know as Diddy, opened a restaurant called Justin's in New York City. The restaurant was named after his oldest son, Justin Combs. A second location would open in Atlanta on Peachtree Road in South Buckhead in 1998 and became an instant hotspot, frequented by tourists of the area. The restaurant offered creative soul food dishes such as barbecue salmon, blackened catfish, cabbage, yams, and more. Many people praised the restaurant for its atmosphere and reasonable prices. The New York location would later close in 2007 after 10 years in business due to a need for a larger restaurant in the New York City area. But guess what? The new location never opened. In 2010, music executive Tony Austin was shot in the establishment's parking lot and would later file a lawsuit against Diddy, alleging the proprietors of Justin's were aware of dangerous and hazardous conditions at the establishment but failed to provide accurate warning or security protection. In 2012, the restaurant abruptly shuttered, with its manager telling AJC that the restaurant was closed for renovations and would reopen. After AJC went old school and spoke with a spokesman from Bad Boy Worldwide Entertainment Group, it was later confirmed it wouldn't reopen. Emery at Peachtree Hills now operates in the former building today. Cafe Dupri. American rapper and founder of So So Def Records, Jermaine Dupri, opened his 22-hour-a-day cafe in Atlanta, Georgia on June 6, 2005. Cafe Dupri took a different approach than most other celebrity restaurants on this list by featuring healthy cuisines and desserts other than typical Southern food. Jermaine Dupri personally told the press that he opened the restaurant because he believed that young people need to eat better. The menu included items such as the So So Def omelet, turkey burger, tomatoes Dupri, and more. The opening of the restaurant coincides with his first compilation album released from his label titled Young Fly and Flashy Volume 1. The restaurant would close in 2008, citing the ailing economy and that people weren't eating out as much. Workers reported that they weren't notified of the closing when they arrived at work, with a sign that read, "Thanks for patronizing Cafe Dupri. We have closed indefinitely." Workers also reported for weeks that checks bounced and they have been refused at local cash-in businesses. Jermaine Dupri's mother, who served as the CEO of Cafe Dupri, issued notices to employees stating that payroll funds just weren't available in a timely manner and apologized for any inconvenience. Jermaine Dupri's mother later added that all workers had been paid and that it was a business decision to shut down Cafe Dupri due to it not making any money. Linnethia Lounge.
I said what I said. Okay, well, what you said was some bull.
Former Atlanta housewife star Nene Leakes teased the opening of a restaurant shortly after she departed from the reality show in 2020. The Linnethia Lounge, named after her birth name, opened in Duluth, Georgia, a suburb outside the city of Atlanta. She ran the establishment with her husband, Greg Leakes, and her son, Brent Leakes. The venue featured live music, valet parking, Sunday brunches, hookah, and more, being located just down the street from the now defunct Gwinnett Place Mall. The lounge was also frequented by many famous people in the industry, most notably rappers Migos and Trina. The prices of the establishment were very reasonable, and people praised the quality of the food, the atmosphere, and the alcoholic beverages. Many people didn't take too kindly of the service provided and the $20 parking fee and a cover charge to enter. In 2021, Greg Leakes, Nene's husband, passed away after a long battle with colon cancer, leaving many people wondering if she would continue operating the lounge. Nene would instead gift the lounge to her son, and he continued to operate it.
Teaching Brent how to be an entrepreneur. Brent is the owner of the Linnethia. We're
Just a year later, her son Brent Leaks suffered a stroke and heart failure in October 2022, leaving Nene heartbroken as she considered selling the lounge. She would share that if
sat and talked about selling the lounge now because it's something that Brent runs along with me, and I got into business with Brent and Greg and some other friends to do it, and this is just a lot right now on me. So if there's anybody out there that's possibly interested in the lounge, send them my way if they are interested in purchasing it. It's very possible that we will sell the lounge because it is something that I shared with Brent after Greg's passing.
The Linnethia Lounge reportedly closed in early 2023. Scales 925 Fine Foods and Spirits. Hip-hop mogul T.I. opened his first upscale restaurant, Scales 925, in 2015, being his latest business venture at the time. The eatery was in the booming downtown Atlanta area and featured southern soul food options, such as triple duck meatloaf and buttermilk fried snapper. The restaurant received mixed reviews, stating utensils were often dirty and that the customer service was bad. On the other hand, reviews of the food were positive, with some people just not liking the price of select menu items. The restaurant was shuttered just a year later after failing to pay over $1 million in back rent it owed to its landlord. 12 former employees would later sue T.I., real name Clifford Harris, and his business partner Charles Hughes over unpaid wages. The suit claimed they weren't paid properly and that they were also required to pay $4 out of their paychecks for broken glasses. The situation gets even messier once they pointed out that Hughes used Scales LLC to create bank accounts for payroll, and that he would deposit money from Scales 925 into his personal account, causing payroll checks to bounce. A settlement was eventually reached in 2018, with T.I. paying the plaintiffs $8,333.33 each and another $25,000 in court costs. This wasn't the end of T.I. opening restaurants in Atlanta, as he recently opened the Trap City Cafe in the fall of 2022. Frank Ski's Restaurant and Lounge. Former V103 host Frank Ski debuted his 8,000 square foot restaurant and lounge in 2011, being located not too far from Diddy's Justin's restaurant. Frank Ski's restaurant and lounge featured outdoor courtyards, private dining rooms, VIP and cigar lounges, in addition to a beautiful bar and a live music venue. The restaurant served signature dishes such as fried red snapper, braised short ribs, and Maryland-style jumbo lump crab cakes. In 2015, Ski put his restaurant and lounge for sale at $395,000 in cash for the assets inside the building and the rights to a long-term lease for $18,000 a month. This was due to him leaving V103 in 2012 after being a host for nearly 15 years and relocating to Washington, D.C. The restaurant was eventually sold to Kevin Edwards, who renovated and reopened under the name Claus. This restaurant wouldn't last long and would shutter after Kevin Edwards filed a lawsuit against Frank Ski for fraud and breach of contract. DS17. The DS17 Lounge was founded in 2016 by former Atlanta Hawks backup point guard Dennis Schroeder, opening in, yes, you guessed it, Buckhead, Georgia. DS17 comes from Dennis Schroeder's initials and his jersey number. The restaurant/lounge offered a variety of menu items that received positive reviews, but people expressed frustrations over poor service and the automatic 20% gratuity charge on the tab. The restaurant most notably failed its health inspection and racked up 21 violations, from not having soap at hand washing stations and heavy fruit flies. Most notably, the location of the lounge was located below apartments, and residents often complained about the loud thumping music at late hours, fights, garbage, and illegal activities. The restaurant shuttered sometime in late 2017, according to Yelp and the restaurant's last post on its official Instagram. Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles. named after the legendary singer Gladys Knight, who is known for her soulful voice and hits like Midnight Train to Georgia. Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles was established in 1997 in Atlanta by Shanghai Hankerson, Gladys Knight's son. The restaurant became popular for serving a combination of traditional Southern comfort food, such as fried chicken and waffles, along with live entertainment. The concept of pairing crispy fried chicken with sweet waffles has gained popularity over the years as a unique and indulgent dish. Additional locations would open in Linnethia, Union City, and Cascade Road, Atlanta. On June 22, 2016, all 3 Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles restaurants were raided and shut down after Georgia's Department of Revenue accused the owner of theft and tax evasion and owed them over $650,000. The restaurant would later reopen days after Hankerson was released on a $20,000 bond. Gladys Knight would later file a lawsuit in August 2016 against son Sungha Hankerson, demanding that he stops using her name and likeness in the restaurants, citing declining success and Hankerson's ongoing legal troubles. The suit was later granted in her favor, and all locations were ordered to remove her name and likeness from his business. All locations would shutter shortly after. In case you were wondering, Gladys Knight herself wasn't suspected of any criminal activity since she only lent her name to her son's restaurants, similar to being a celebrity endorsement. Kevin Gillespie's revival. American chef, author, and former Top Chef contestant Kevin Gillespie opened his restaurant Revival in 2015. Revival was located in Decatur, Georgia, and was described as an experience you get if you are a lucky guest at the Gillespie family table, one that is deeply personal. It featured recreations of foods Gillespie grew up with on the menu. On January 14, 2023, Revival closed its doors due to unforeseen circumstances. Kevin Gillespie would later state that someone broke into the restaurant and stole the safe containing all deposits from the holiday season, and the break-in caused significant damage to the building. It was also further stated by Kevin that the building suffered severe thunderstorm damage to the building, and the damage from the break-in plus the storm would have cost $250,000 or more to fix, and would put the restaurant out of business for at least 6 months, if not longer, he said. Kevin Gillespie hasn't given up on opening more restaurants in the Atlanta area, as he is currently working on a new upscale restaurant in the area. Dolce Group Atlanta. Originating in Los Angeles, California, the Dolce Group Atlanta division was established in 2005 and managed upscale restaurant chains such as Geisha House, Dolce Enoteca, and Tin Pin Alley. Ashton Kutcher joined a cluster of celebrity investors, which included his That 70s Show co-stars Wilmer Valderrama and Danny Masterson, who threw money at the stylish C&B Scene restaurants. Geisha House, Dolce, and Tin Pin Alley all opened locations at Atlantic Station in 2007. Geisha House, Japanese restaurant, closed in March of 2011 due to new developer Mark Toro taking steps to evolve Atlantic Station, and the closing of the restaurant was part of his plan of cutting down nightclub operations. Dolce e Ristorante, Italian restaurant, closed 6 months later in August of 2011 as well. Yard House would eventually replace its spot, opening 8 months later. Tin Pin Alley, Bowling Alley, would be the last to go, just announcing its closure a week after Dolce Enoteca. Straits Atlanta. Grammy award-winning rapper Ludacris opened his latest business venture, Straits Atlanta off Juniper Street, in 2008. The name is derived from the Straits of Malacca, a waterway between China and Singapore. It was reported that Ludacris invested more than $1 million into renovating the building and partnered with chef Chris Yeo. It offered a modern twist on Singaporean cuisine, which is a combination of Thai, Indonesian, Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Nonya cooking. In 2011, shortly after securing a contract to open a restaurant in Atlanta International Airport under the name Chicken and Beer, which was named after his third studio album, Straits would shutter soon after. Sources state that the restaurant suffered from low guest turnout due to an overly priced menu. Ludacris Chicken and Beer still operates today, being located at Gate D5 in Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, with plans of opening a second location at LAX Airport. Well, this brings us to the end of our list today. Let me know in the comments below if you know of any other celebrity-owned restaurants that have failed, or if you recognized any of the ones we went over in the video. See you next time!